So we have seen the create query in a various like MS SQL as well as the SQL developer, like go to the Oracle, okay, and try to install that Oracle or MS SQL. That those are the free source, okay. You can find in the Google as well. So you can install and you can start practicing on these queries, okay. And we have seen the create and also alter and the drop and truncate, right? So as part of the DDL commands, we have seen how we are going to, we have did some practice, right? We have did some practice on the create, alter, and drop and truncate. And the difference between the drop and truncate and the one word that the command is in a data manipulation language that is called delete. Okay. So what is the difference between drop, truncate, and delete? Anyone? What is the difference between drop, truncate, and delete?
Yeah, drop and truncate available in DDL command
Okay.
and delete available in the DML command.
Okay.
And
Well,
drop
that
and truncate. Yeah.
DDL, it is not a command, it's a language. Okay. DDL
Oh,
language.
okay, language.
Okay. And the more important is, so wherever it comes to like drop, truncate, it see drop will deal with the structure and deleted structure in drop. Yep. So drop deals with the structure, right? The structure completely, the memory for the table will be deleted. Okay. Where it comes to truncate, it will delete the complete data and there will be no needed of the external commit. Okay. And so the internal commit will be performed when you go with the truncate. Where it comes to the delete, right? So it will delete the entire data if you want. And also we can use the where clause to delete the particular records in a table. Okay, that is about the delete, and we have to perform an external commit for the delete. Okay, also we have seen the insert. So how we can do the inserting the data into the table by using the inserting command. Okay, and insert query, and also like for update. Okay, update like we have seen like if you want to update a specific query, so we have to use this vary class. So otherwise, like if you are going to update without vary class, so that table will be updated, like the entire table will be updated with the particular column which you are saying. Okay, and coming to the TCL, we have seen transaction control language, that is commit and rollback, right? These are the simple commands. No need to write in the like just you have to enter the commit and you have to write the commit and enter. So it is going to be execute and whatever you are did in a particular session that is going to be saved. Okay, and roll back like before commit. If you want to if you want to undo the changes, right? So you go with the and where is like DQL is just very important. So we are going to write the queries by using the select. So to read the data, right? So to read the data from the table, right? So we have to use this select always. Okay. So select. So even in if you as a ETL tester, in case if you got a job like if you are going to the organization in ETL testing, right? So if you have to raise the access for that particular database, right? You have to raise the access for only select. So some cases like where we have to we will get an access for the create, but not with these operations like alter, drop, truncate. We will not have this access. Okay, so this is called a select or access is nothing but it's a read only app, read only access. Okay, so as a tester, we will not have a permission to the what like create, alter, drop, or truncate something like. Okay, those are dealing with the structure of the table. So structure will be defined by the admin of the database. Okay, admin will decide like how the structure database structure will be there and what is the data type it should be allowed. But as part of the ETL tester, we have to validate it. We have to test that whether structure is correct as per the requirement. Understood? Okay, we are not going to create a table, but we are ensuring that the table is correctly created. as part of the test. Clear? So this is about the DDL, DML, TCL, and DKL. Okay. Now we have seen like constraints right, yesterday. So we will see like how we can go with create while creating a table, how we perform these constraints. Okay. And also we do the practice of creating a table by using these constraints in today's class. Okay. First is like not null. Second is unique, and third is like check constraint, and also default. Okay, default constraint, and also we have to use the primary key constraint and foreign key constraint. Okay, foreign key constraint. So, and also one more thing, not null, unique, check, default, primary. So index also is nothing but it's a constant. So we can create an Excel index in a table. So that we are going to see. So what is not null? Yesterday we have discussed, right? What is not null?
Value should not be null.
Null value, right? So once you declare any column, right? Any column that should not be null while entering the data. So it should throw error if you are not giving any data for the particular column. Okay. So can you tell me, like, I'm going to create a college table. Okay. And the college table, it has a college ID and college code. Okay. And something like college name. These are the three columns. Can you please tell me, like, how can I create a table of college with these three columns? Can you tell me the query? Anyone can help me with the query? Writing. Hello?
Create college.
Yes. Create college.
Create table college.
Table college.
Okay, done. See, remember, like when you are going with the DDL, see, I'm telling that this is the third class. I'm telling this thing. Whenever you're going to deal with that, so when you're using these commands, you have to tell whether you are dealing with a table or view or index. Okay, so that is why here we are going to tell like create table. Okay, so that is very important. So remember that thing. Okay, okay then. Create table, college. Then
College
after
ID.
that, open bracket, college ID. Okay.
Integer.
Yes. We have to decide the data type.
Data.
Okay. Right. Then comma. And next thing.
College code.
Okay. College code.
Integer should be also in the braces, right?
No, that's what like you have to practice things, right? So integer should not have any braces. So we are not going to give any size of whether integer value because the database itself is it's taking a size for the integer dynamically. Okay, whatever you are entering data, so database will allocate the size for the particular data. Okay, that is a dynamic. So you are not going to become as a you are not making it as a static thing or something. Okay,
Okay.
so for integer, we are not going to give the size. Okay, and tell me like next college code. College code also like we can consider it as an integer one. Okay, because it's a code, right? This is okay, fine. And next thing, college name. Okay, just
Varchar.
writing as a name. Okay, this is a varchar, and here for varchar we have to give the
Size.
Number.
size or number, right? So what is the size? So I'm giving like suppose 100, fine, right? So college name will be somewhere like it is a very big thing. Okay. This is the query like creating a table of a college, right? So now where we can apply these constraints. Okay. So here you can apply like this is like college ID, right? college ID should not be null at any cost. Right. So if you're working with a particular college, it should be identify a particular number with a particular number. So while we see instead of identifying with the names, so why we are going with the numbers means, so suppose my name is Narendra. So there will be a lot of other names with a Narendra, right? Even if I consider my first name, so that is also there will be some people there where it has a first name and the name also going to be matched. So instead of that, if one particular number is allocated to for me for to getting the all my information, it is very easy, right? So that is how, like, even in the database also, every time, so they want to allocate one number to the particular record, so that if they want to get the details, so it is very easy to get the all the details for the by using the numbers. And also moreover, right, so when you are dealing with a database, so if this Narendra is going to be converted into the binary values in the database level. Okay, and where it comes to same data, same name, if it is starting with the small letter. Okay, this binary value will be like, for this, the binary value will be like something like this. Okay, and where it comes to for this change, right, small letter, so that the binary value will be like this. But the thing is that, so whenever pulling a data by using this name, right, so the deep database will be confused because of this binary values. So there will be incorrect results in the test results. Okay, so it is always recommended to use the numbers, because numbers will not have a capital or small letter something like that, right? So that is how, if for this particular number, if the binary value is allocated something like this, right, it will never going to be changed in your database. Okay, so it is always recommended to use the numbers when you are filtering the data from the table. Okay, so that is how, like, whenever we are going with dealing with the IDs or integers, something like that, right? So that is going to be like a filtering concept, like where we are, if you want to filter, where you want to filter the data in the table, so you have to go with some ID concepts, like ID or the number where it is entry number or something. Fine. So here we are going to apply, sir. So the ID should not be null, since that if the college is there, it should have some IDs. So I am making it a constant on this particular column. That constant will be, you can, while creating a table, you have to write like this. This is not null constraint. Okay, so that you can't insert null values in this column. Okay, so I'm telling this constraints means, so whenever if there is a requirement, if the requirement of creating some dim action or dim account table, right? So there is a requirement like account ID should not be. Okay, they will give you the requirement. So you have to go into the structure of the table and you have to check whether the account ID is declared as a not null or not. That is how you have to know how the constraints will be declared on the columns. Clear? See, now you are going to write the same, I'm going to write the same query, okay, by using the unique, because the college ID should not be duplicated, right? If the college ID is making as a duplicate, so there will be a problem, right, to identifying the particular college, which college I'm going to enroll. While if you're going to be enroll a college after the MSET or something like that, right? So by engineering college, you are going to enroll. So in that case, if the ID, by looking at the ID somewhere, like you have to choose the college, right? If the ID is different, if the ID is different, that is fine. If the ID is duplicated for the same college, for the two different colleges, so there will be confusion which college is for this ID, right? So that is how, like, I'm going to create same for the same table. I'm going to add a college ID in, and this is unique. Okay, and So college code, int, and same thing like name will be something like 100. So same thing, but just we have it right. We have changed that not null to unique. Fine. And next thing is check constant. Check constant is nothing but like saying, so whenever you have some orders, okay, you have some order table, and the order should be like whenever. So sometimes like in Amazon or Flipkart or suppose like there is a offers are going in Amazon, right? So they have made some constraint like if you are ordering more than the 2,000 or more than the 5,000 of amount of the order, so you will get a 10% of discount, right? So in that case, in the order table, so if there is an amount is exceeding, if there's an amount is exceeding to the 5,000, it has to be go for the particular discount level, discount table or something like that. Okay. So make sure that, and also they want to make it as a, make sure that the whatever you are entering the amount that should be greater than of that particular amount, like whether 2,000 or 5,000. So that we can make in the structure level only by using this check constraint. Okay. So how we can write this? See, suppose I'm writing the create table order. Okay. Order or orders. Okay. And so order ID, and this going to be in, and you can make it as a not null or unique, whatever you want. So I'm making it as a not null. Okay. And the amount can be like, it will be like, as I said, like 2,000 greater than of the 2,000, right? So that is what like check is the constraint, and we can give it in a bracket like amount should be greater than of 2,000, something like this. Okay. This is order or like we can see. Okay, this is fine with the two columns, right? So this is the syntax, like we can write a check constraint on a particular column. Okay, we are checking that whatever the amount is entering into the database and the database of particular order table, that should be more than of a 2,000. Okay, and next is like default. Default is something like that. See, whenever you are not going to give any data on a particular column, so you want to make sure that that column has some data. Okay, so in that case, you have so instead of you are entering any data and default data, right? So it is going to be enter by default like whatever the country. Suppose if there is a country you are living in India, right? So when you are typing some application data, so by default when you are selecting a particular pin code or something like that, the default value of India will become, right? So that is a default to the particular and a column or something like that. Okay. Here also, like I'm going to take a one default. So same, I will take this college table. Okay. And okay, we'll write here only college table. And here, instead of the name, so okay, fine. Even I'm going to add one more column. That is what country. Okay. Country is something like where, right? Where like a 2 or something, where car also you can give, and you can give the size like 10 is fine, right? So the default value for this country is something like India. Okay, so this is the default constraint. So if you are not entering any data, if you are not inserting any data in the country column, then the default value will be going to be enter as India. Okay. If you are entering, that is fine. That the whatever the data you are going to enter, that is what you enter. Okay, that is would be insert into table. But if there it is a not inserting any data, that is the default value will go be as. Okay, that is one. And next is primary and foreign key. Okay, this is very important. So we can declare the primary key on a particular ID one. Okay, And also the relation between the primary and the foreign key between the two tables is also known as a referential integrity. Referential integrity. Okay, so you will get a question like what is differential integrity in it and RDBMS, relational database management. Okay, so differential integrity is nothing but say if you have a table, okay, so that table is going to be split. We have seen in a normalization, right? So we have splitted the table like if there is a common, if there is a multiple columns in the table, suppose there is an employee table and the department table, and these tables data is combined in the employee table only. Okay, if there is an employee ID, name and the salary, and as well as the department ID and department name. Okay, so but unnecessary, but if you look into the normalization thing, if it is a denormalization, so unnecessarily we are making a duplicate data of employee if you want to insert the data of the department. Or else, if you want to insert the data of employee, you are making the duplicate of the department data in a denormalization form. So what we have did, we have splitted the table into two tables. One is employee and department. Anyhow, we have to have a relation between the employee and the department because in some cases, like we have to find out like whether the employee belongs to which department or something like that. In that case, the primary key and foreign key relation will be should be available in the between the two table. Okay, so to make a relation between the between the two or more tables, the referential integrity will be come into the picture. Okay, so that the parent table, whatever the parent table will have, we can see that that will have a primary key constraint, and whatever the child table, right? That will have a foreign key constraint. That is known as a referential integrity in the DADBMS. Okay, so you might have get some questions like what is referential integrity? You can say this thing. So to make sure that the two tables having the relation and we are fetching the data between the two tables. So those tables should have the primary or foreign key constraints, and to by using those things we will combine those, we'll join those two tables and we will get a information, required information. Okay, so how can we create a primary key constraint? Same thing, like just you go with this thing. Suppose I will create one table that is create customer. Okay, create table name. Okay, table customer, and open bracket, and customer ID and the integer, and only I will make like customer name varchar of 20 or something. Okay, and okay, fine, amount we can have. It is also it is. I'm not going to write as a float. Okay, you can write as a float here. Float or decimal is also fine. Okay, this is a customer. Here, I'm going to declare this customer ID int is going to be as a primary. Just you have to write a primary key here. Okay, so like this, you can declare this primary key on a particular ID. Fine. This is how you can go with the. So primary key is what, like primary key will be a unique and not null. It will have unique and not null. Okay. So that means the customer ID should not be null. And one more thing, it should not be made as a duplicate. Okay. Whenever you declare a customer ID, right? So it should not be make a null, and also it should not be a duplicate data and for the customer ID. That is primary. Okay. And next is foreign key. Suppose the same thing like I'm going to create a table of orders. Okay. So now we have a order ID, and this is int. So in any table, like whatever the table like, so there should be a primary key here. can have a primary key. When it comes to the customer ID, here also we will have a customer ID, but it is like integer, and also it is a foreign key of a customer ID, right? In order table, because so that we can have a giants. So when we are going to learn about the giants, right, we will see about why this customer ID is here. So as of now, just remember to make a join or to make a reference foreign key of this table. So we should have a customer ID here in the order table as well. And here it is referencing, okay, references of customer table, customer ID. Okay, this is how you are going to create a table with a foreign key. So that is what we are referencing. Foreign key will be declared like this with references of the customer table, the parent table, customer ID. Okay, so that we can make sure that this customer and order tables have a relation between these two tables. Fine. Okay, so now tell me, what is the difference between primary key and unique key? Tell me. So till now I said, right, oh, what is unique and not null and primary key or something, right? So what is the difference between primary key and unique key? Anyone can tell me. These are the interview questions. In interview, they will ask you, like, what is the difference between unique and primary column? No?
Every table have only primary key, one primary key.
That is not a thing. Like, I'm asking about the difference between primary key and unique key. We can have a primary key, multiple primary keys in a table, but that is a different concept. That is known as a composite primary key. Okay. So we can have multiple primary keys. That is not an issue. I'm talking about what is the difference between primary and unique? What is unique key?
It should not be the duplicate one.
Exactly. Yes, it should not be a duplicate, right? So when it comes to the primary key,
Unique and not null.
unique and not null. That means, can we make a one null in the unique?
No.
Yes, we can make. In a unique, we can write a one null value.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. So that is the difference between primary key and unique key. Okay. But that should be only once. Okay. Only one null value. Okay. Clear? So that is the difference between primary and unique key. That where we can have one null value in a unique, but where it comes to primary, we cannot have a null value. And same thing, what is the difference between not null and primary key? Not null and primary key? Simple, right? We can have some, like, in unique we can't make a duplicate.
Cannot be used as a primary key, but a primary key, it should not be a null value.
See, simple thing, right? See, here we are not able to make a duplicate. Okay, and we can have a null values. And same thing here, we cannot have a null values, and we can make duplicate, right? Right? Clear? So we cannot have a null value, but we can make a duplicate of not null constraint. Correct? But in primary, we cannot make a duplicate things. That is how, with the combination of the unique and not null, will be a primary.
Okay, yeah.
Got it? So this is
Yes.
one of interview questions they will ask you in what is referential integrity, and also what is the difference between not null and primary, and what is the difference between unique and primary. Simple thing here, we cannot make a duplicate, but we can have one null value. Okay, and here we cannot make a null value, but we can have duplicate values. Okay, but here no null, no duplication. Done. So now we'll try to create, okay, index is something like, see, index is also just like creating a table. Okay, so if this table, if you take this table, right? So as I said, like primary key, whenever you see a primary key in a table, right? So default index will be created, that is cluster index, right? So instead of that, if we have one more column, that is customer ID is there. Okay, customer code is something. Okay, this is the customer code. So if you want to create a index on customer code as well, you have to write external index. You have to create external index. So this is just like a create query also we are going to use. But now we are going to create a index. Okay, so we create index. Index name is like customer index, right? Customer index on, okay, and that is what, like customer table, customer table on customer table. What is that? Customer. No, sorry. So like this, you can create an index on a particular column. Got it? So this is how we are going to create external indexes. Generally, we will not do this index creation in our daily routine work. Okay, actually, we are not going to into the indexes because we will not work on the creating or something index on a tables. Okay, so for us, like to validation, this is very important. These things. Okay, so now we'll do some practice with how it is going to be create indexes and a tables. So sorry,
Excuse me.
yeah.
What is
Yep.
the purpose of the index?
Okay, so you have seen, we have learned about the first class, right? When we have started the databases, there is an index of the on a particular, where there is a root node and the so we'll explain you again. Have you in the first class of databases?
Yeah, yeah.
Database. So there I have drawn one picture. So there is a root node and we have a middle level nodes. Okay, and we have a leaf nodes. Okay, when there is a table, right? Employee table has a employee ID and it has like a 1200 records, something like that as told you. Okay, this 1200 records simply can, okay, I will not make it as a complex. So you suppose you might purchase some book. Okay, and there is this book has a, like, suppose like a 3000 pages and you want to go for the particular lesson of this book. So what you refer in a book? There will be index in a first page, right?
Yeah.
For each lesson, okay, from this page to 10, 1 to 100, one lesson, on 200 to 300, one lesson, and 300 to 400, one lesson, right? Lesson 1, lesson 2. So if you want to go to the lesson 3, you will refer from the 300 to 400 pages. Okay. If imagine if there is a no index in the table, in the page, in the book, you have to search for the each one of the page in the book. Right?
Yes, yes, yeah.
That is the same thing. The employee is a primary key here. For this 200 employees, right? 1200 employees, they will be, index will be created. So the index will be like this. Sorry. This will be created like this. So here from 100 to 200 records will be stored in this path. Okay, and
Mm.
sorry, 400 something like that. Okay, I'm going to 401 to 801 will be stored in this 800 to this path, this path. Okay, and this 800 to 801 to 1200 will be stored in this path. Okay, so whenever searching for the particular like employee 1120 employee, right? So
Mm.
you no need to go bother about these indexes, this type, these files, this page is something you imagine in the database.
Mm.
So whenever you're searching, okay, 1120 is in this part, right? So you have to go in this level and this data will be stored in the this data pages. This is data page, right?
Okay.
Data page. So instead of searching this all other records, we are making that so only for the way the employee is available in the particular index, that index we are getting index pages we are getting, and we are going to search in this route only, in this route. Okay, so
Mm.
so we are not going to this. So unless instead of that searching all the 1200 records, we are only searching for 800 to 1200. So that
Mm.
makes sense, right? So and also we are improving the performance of getting data within the time,
Okay.
right? That is the use of index,
Mm.
right? So always like when you create a primary key, right? That's why database always by default it create a cluster index that is known as a cluster index. Okay, the default index will be created in the database that is known as a cluster index. So that is how the whenever you are fetching, we are filtering data in the database, right? So it is always recommended to use primary key to filter the data.
Yeah.
Got it?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that is the use of the index. Any questions? Clear, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm going to do some practice and right, entering the constraint, right? So I'm just copying this thing. Okay. Okay, if you want, okay, I will write it. So this is the initial classes, right? So we will write. So tell me, like, we have seen till now the syntaxes of the that all the constraints. That you have to tell me the query. How can I write? Tell me for the not null. Create. There is a college table, right? Create table. Tell me. Forgot or no? Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me. How can I write a query? Create table. Table
Yeah.
name.
Create table name
Uh,
and college ID,
mm-hmm,
integer,
mm-hmm.
college name,
Okay.
varchar, uh, 50 or something.
Like the size of the college name, something like that. Okay. Fine.
And college code.
Okay. College code.
Yeah, integer.
I will make int. Okay. So I want to
Yeah,
apply the not null constraint. Step.
college ID is not null.
College
College
ID.
ID integer and not null. Space
Okay.
after.
Yes, it is not null, right?
Yeah.
We'll see. So whether the table is created or not. Command completed successfully. Can we try to insert the data in this? Can you tell me the insert query for the same?
Uh, Insert into
Insert into.
college
Okay.
column. I think no need to column. I think college. Yeah, college ID.
Okay. College ID.
College. No. Is a ID is a college ID
Mm-hmm.
and college name and college code and
Yeah.
after
Okay. Okay.
and
Then.
value and value
Okay.
and put a value. The college ID is a 101 and name is whatever your name.
Name should be in a quotes, right?
Yeah.
So suppose MIT or something,
Yeah.
and the college code should be like 201 something. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are we getting any
I-
syntax errors here?
College.
It should be values, not value. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see like what will the error will come if I put a value here. Syntax error value should be values. See, like yesterday I might have said incorrect. Like whenever you are saying right, so this red marks. If you see this, observe this red marks, right? This is going to be compile time error. This is a syntactical errors. Okay, so to avoid this compile time errors, so just make sure that there is a no red marks in this, uh, like whatever the query you have written. Okay, so not null. So one row inserted. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to not entering. I'm not going to enter the college ID because we make it as a not null, right? So I'm going to try to enter one more data. See, what is the error? Can you read it? Anyone, can you read the error? Cannot
Yeah. Cannot insert the value null into
null
the column.
college ID. Why
Yeah.
I'm making you to read the query errors, right? So you will get a question like, what are the errors you will get while you work, right? So that if you know these errors, right? So you can tell them like, okay, I did a practice and I got this error sometimes where the constraints errors and where the tabular view does not exist. So these type of errors I used to get while I'm doing the work in the project. So that is why. So read the errors and also because if you read the error, right, by looking at the error only, you can say like, okay, this is the problem with this query, something like that. So always read the errors carefully and you try to understand the errors so that you will write a query very in an effective manner. Got it? So this is about the, like we can't insert the null values. The same way, so I want to make it as a unique. Okay, I want to drop it. Okay, drop table college. I'm dropping it. So I'm not doing any commit here. Okay, so directly the database is going to be put a commit here. Okay, so this is a not null and here unique. Command successful run and what I said is unique, right? So can I insert a null value? Yes, right. One time null will be inserted.
Yes, hello.
Yes, so I'm going to insert this code. See, can I see? Select dot from college. See, null can be inserted. Can I insert one more time? Can I do it?
No.
Yes, will you? See, violation of unique key constraint cannot insert duplicate key in object in ecology and the duplicate key value is null. Fine. So you cannot insert a multiple null values. Only one null is fine. Clear? That unique will be work like this. Okay. And also we'll create one other table. What is the table? That is order, right? Amount check constraint. We will check. Okay. Why it is. So we'll try to execute this table. The definition for a column amount must include the data type. Oh, I didn't include the data type. Right? You see, object is already there. So I'm going to give one like this. Orders table is created. I want to insert a data. Getting right what I'm doing? So I want to check, like I have make it as a check amount is greater than 2000, but I want to make it like whether I'm able to order ID. I didn't try correct one. Okay, fine. So this amount, right? And order ID something like 101. And the amount can be like so greater than 2000, right? I'm going to give 200. We'll see whether it is going to be inside or not. See, conflict text check constraint. Okay, the conflict occurred in the database master table orders the conflict like a column amount. Okay, so it is not going to allow you the even if it is allowing with 2001. We'll see. Yes, it is done. So that is the use of the check constraint. Okay, the same way we can go with the default value, default constraint. What is the default constraint? Where is the default? I just want to take this as a, I just want to copy this instead of writing this query. Okay, fine. Like where I return for the default. This primary key. This is the default, right? So default is like IND, okay, and whatever the worker, okay, fine, something I'm getting the, we'll see. Syntax near here, like default value. Parameterized country default worker 10. Something like to give this value, right? So we have to enter something like country worker
India
2.
should be in the single quote, I
Sorry,
guess. Single
sorry.
quote. India should be in the single quotes.
No, it's not working actually. Yes, that did I did like I did double quotes here. I don't know why. I have given the single quotes only, right? I don't know why it was not working that time. Okay,
No,
fine.
first thing was the double quotes.
Sorry.
In the previous execution, it was double quotes.
Yeah, okay. I have changed that one, but the copied thing is only having the single quotes, right?
Okay.
Okay, that is fine. So now I'm going to insert the records. So I will not going to insert the complete column. I'm just going to insert a, so if this is a unique, right? So I'm going to insert only country. So here the country is US I'm writing, okay, because I want to insert whether the inserting your other records is going to be taking or not, we have to check, right? And if I'm not giving any value of, I'm just giving the college code or something, right? sorry, here I can't make it as a null, right? Again, null. So I will go and take this as a 101. We'll see whether what is the data will be inside. To recursor inserted, select from here and see. If you first time I entered US, that is inserting, and I'm second time I didn't enter the data for the country, but the India is entered here, right? That is the default const. Okay, now I'm going to create a primary. This is the primary key. So I'm just taking this customer table, entering. Okay, I'm just directly excluding this. Okay, fine, right? Table is created. I want to create an order table as well. Orders we have, right? We have orders. And this is a primary key, and this orders is all we have. Like I'm going to give cust orders, okay, customer orders, and reference of primary key. So that, right? We are making the referential integrity between the customer and orders table. Okay, so just I want to insert a data into the customer. Right? Getting right what I'm doing here?
Yes.
Fine. So I'm entering the customer ID value. And this has one record. In the same way, I'm entering the customer ID in order ID, order table, right? Order table. This is a primary key. We have to enter the order 01. And one more thing is customer ID here, we can have a null values as well. This is a foreign key, not a primary key, right? See, we'll see whether we can have a null values here or not. Okay, why it is taking customer? So this is the order customer order, right? See, inserted. That means foreign key we can make it null values, and also we can make a duplicate values. Don't confuse that foreign key we cannot make the null or duplicate something like that. Okay, so primary key only work as a unique and not null. Foreign key we can make it. We can make it as a unique or sorry, duplicate or null values. Fine. So you can space the recursor. So like if you want to see this thing. See, customer ID can be null value, right? So this is how we can go and check for the referential integrity. We can make the relation between the primary and foreign key. And the same thing, if you see, like, if you want to delete, we are going to delete like this. I'm going to drop a table, and that is called as customer order customer. See what we will get. It is deleted, right? I don't know. Just a minute, I will create it. Okay. Whether it is having the relation between. Yes, see. So the parent table, right? If the parent table, any parent table, you will have a relation between the child table, right? Instead, without deleting the child table, you can't delete the parent table. That is the use of the referential integrity. Okay, could not drop object customer because it is referenced by the foreign key constraint. That means the parent will not be deleted in the database level. Okay, if it is as any relation between the other tables, right? Got it? So that is called referential integrity. Okay, and also we will see about the create index. Create index name, cast index on customer table ID. Customer, okay, and on customer ID, right? Customer, we have primary key. We didn't created one more column here. We'll take order. Here also we have to. So I will do one thing. I will here I will create one more column, that is order code. Okay, int. I will drop this order customer and create again. Because primary key will have default index, right? So we cannot change that one. So if you want to do the index, if you want to create an index in other table, other column, right? That is we have to get one unique value so that you can create an index. Index and the on. Okay, on is the keyword. Okay, and here order code is the call. Okay, let's see. Completed. So index is created now. Okay, so we have an index in the order ID in the order code. So like this, you can create an index and a table, right? Got it? This is about the constraints. Okay, so how you perform the constraints on the table while creating. Okay, and how it is very useful in our daily written works to insert the data into the table. Okay, any questions? Any questions here? Okay, then. So I will take it as no. Okay.